Do you have acne? Go on birth control. Oh wait, but that's also one of the side effects. Do you have irregular periods? Go on birth control. Oh wait, that doesn't regulate your period. It just masks it and makes you bleed once a month without ovulating, which is incredibly important to your health as a woman. Do you have mood swings? Go on birth control. Oh wait, that's also a side effect. Do you want to be unhappy, miserable, and depressed? Go on birth control. The FDA just approved the first over-the-counter birth control pill, accessible to anyone who wants it, including a 14-year-old girl who walks into a CVS because her friend told her that it'll cure her acne with little to no idea of what it can do to her long-term health. And I know that you're probably thinking that this is a win, that people should have access to contraceptives. But we cannot neglect the serious and damaging effects of birth control. And if anything, women should have informed consent about these things. So I want to talk about just some of the side effects of birth control. We can't go through them all because this is what the risk sheet looks like that comes in the box of birth control with all of the side effects of it. And it's ridiculously long and unbelievable. But to name just a few. The New York Post recently reported that women who started taking birth control as teenagers had a 130% higher rate of depression later in life. That is a very large margin. Most girls also don't know their family history, and if their family history has a history of blood clots, birth control is incredibly dangerous for them to take because it increases their risk of blood clots. 60% of women who use birth control use it for health-related issues, not to prevent pregnancy, even though birth control does not solve a single health issue. It is the worst Band-Aid known to man. When a woman goes into her doctor and says, I'm having intense period pain, I'm having acne, or I'm having all these other side effects, a majority of people are prescribed birth control for any woman-related issue. Women deserve to be treated. Women deserve to have their health concerns addressed, not masked. It is not solving any of these things. It is simply masking the symptoms, and women deserve better than that. Taking birth control for 5 or more years can also increase your risk for cervical cancer. It affects your mood. It can cause acne, which is ironic because it is also one of the things it claims to resolve. People go on birth control for acne, but surprise, one of the side effects is also causing acne. It can cause weight gain. It can change who you are attracted to. It changes your brain. It can decrease your sex drive, and so on. There are so many health risks that come with birth control. And keep in mind, in the United States, 1 in 5 people have an STD, and birth control does not do anything to prevent that. It is not creating safer sex to decrease the spread of STDs. But wait. Don't we need birth control to prevent abortions? Well, no, because 50% of women who have abortions reported that they were taking birth control at the time, which means birth control is not as effective as we think, and it does not prevent pregnancy or abortions in the way that we think it does. First, birth control is very finicky. You have to take it at the same time every single day. If you're on antibiotics, it may not work. If you don't take it 100% correctly, the effectiveness goes down even more. There are lots of areas in which birth control can fail, which means people who are on birth control, thinking that it'll prevent them from pregnancy, they get pregnant, and then what do? They have abortions. Abortion numbers have only increased with the invention of birth control because people think that it will prevent pregnancy. They think that it can override the natural process that when you have sex, you might get pregnant, and then they're surprised that sex may have led to pregnancy. It does not lower abortion rates. It has not been proven to do that. Second, a main reason that millions of women are on birth control is because they think it is their only option, but it is not. Natural Cycles is an FDA-approved birth control app, and there are 0 hormones involved, and there are 0 side effects involved. There are many ways to track your cycle because, surprise, your body is intelligent, and if you know how to track your hormones and your cycle, you're actually able to predict when you're ovulating, what your fertile window is, and then how to prevent pregnancy. Because we are only fertile 6 days out of the month, and if you're able to identify that window, you're able to prevent pregnancy. One of the ways that this is tracked, especially through Natural Cycles, is tracking your basal body temperature, which roughly stays the same, but right before you ovulate, that drops. And then right after you ovulate, those temperatures rise significantly and stay risen for a few days. That helps us identify when we're ovulating. You can also track your cervical mucus. You can also track your LH numbers that help you predict when your ovaries are going to release an egg. All of these things help us know our bodies so that we are able to understand not only our cycle, but how to prevent pregnancy naturally. Plus, it has been shown to be upwards of 98% effective when used correctly. And again, there are 0 side effects. But you might be wondering, why have I not heard of this? Why was I not taught this in school? Why am I not taught about my body as a woman? Well, it might be because the hormonal birth control industry brings in about $20 billion a year. And think about how much money they would make if you understood how to track your cycle, if you understood your body and you weren't on hormonal birth control. Probably not very much. There are alternatives to hormonal birth control. There are methods that do not come with an incredibly long list of side effects that make you depressed, anxious, overweight, acne-filled, miserable human beings. There are other options. And this is why I think that the FDA handing out birth control like candy is detrimental to our health as women. It is dangerous, it is unnecessary, and women deserve to know what these dangerous pills are doing to their body. And lastly, I can't help but mention, hormonal birth control was created by men. Natural Cycles was created by a woman.